My name is Madhvi Sonone and I'm part of IBM Storage Scale team. In today's video, we are diving into how to set up IBM Storage Scale bridge for Grafana, which is also known as Grafana-bridge. So basically, Grafana-bridge is an open source powerful monitoring tool which lets you monitor and visualize the performance data from your IBM Storage Scale devices using third-party applications like Grafana and Prometheus. We also have a dedicated GitHub repository for this Grafana-bridge. So this is the official repo and it includes almost everything: code base, setup instructions, wiki, where you will get all the documentation which is helpful for running this Grafana bridge onto your cluster. So if I come back to the code and if I show this diagram to you, so basically this diagram illustrates the performance monitoring data flow from IBM storage scale devices to the Grafana using the Grafana bridge. It also has an internal performance monitoring tool called as Simon, which basically consisting of two components, PM sensors and PM collectors. So PM sensors are running on each GPFS node, measuring the values and sending data to the PM collectors. And PM collectors are lightweight data stores which are useful for time series data running in a federated mode. So using Grafana bridge, IBM storage scale metrics can be easily queried from PM collector and displayed directly onto the Grafana dashboard. And Grafana bridge also offers exposing of these metrics to Prometheus database using the Prometheus Exporter API. And all metrics are exposed to the Prometheus database which are visualized to the Grafana dashboard. So these are some of the prerequisite steps which are useful for running Grafana bridge. We will look into them one by one. So firstly, we will clone our Grafana bridge repo onto the cluster, and we require Python version minimum 3.8 and recommended is 3.9 for the best experience. After that, we need to install some of the additional packages like CherryPy and Request. Second step is to generating an API key. We need to add our API key and then verify it. So these are two commands which are useful for doing that, and we will see at the end of the video how we can do this practically. Also, we will provide our API key to the bridge into the GPFS server. So moving onwards to our configuration number 1, which is OpenTSDB with basic authentication. We need two key steps for this. Firstly, we will uncomment our OpenTSDB API HTTP port, which is 4242. After that, we will set our API basic authentication to the true. So after that, username and password should be uncommented and password should be base64 encoded custom password for the extra layer of security. Okay, so configuration number 2, which is Prometheus with HTTPS. Firstly, we will uncomment our Prometheus port 9250. Then we will set protocol to the HTTPS. And then we will set API basic authentication to the false. Just a quick note here, we strongly recommended keeping our basic authentication as enabled, as by default it is enabled. But just we are setting our protocol to the HTTPS, which already provides the extra layer of security. So we can safely set it to the false. Okay, so for SSL authorization, we need to create some SSL certificates and key. And this is the default directory where this key and certificate should be present. So we need to uncomment these 3 lines. And after that, we will be completed with our second configuration. So moving onwards to the third configuration, which is the combination of the two, which we have just seen. Firstly, we will uncomment our OpenTSDB HTTPS port, which is 8443. And then we will uncomment Prometheus 9250 port. After that, we will set our API basic authentication to the true as we have done for OpenTSDB earlier. And then we will generate the certificates as we have just seen in second configuration. So moving onwards to the last, which is configuring systemd service for Grafana bridge. For that, we need to copy our Grafana bridge service file to the systemd folder. And we need to update the Python path with the version which you have installed and replace working directory where your Grafana bridge is installed. This is the default directory and in my case my Grafana bridge is installed here only. Okay, so these are some of the steps which we will see at the last, which will help us to start the Grafana bridge with systemd, and we will successfully verify where our Grafana bridge is up and running or not. So let's see. So firstly we will see how to add our key to the bridge. Okay, so in my case my key is already existing. Let me quickly show it to you. Okay, so this is my API key, and if I switch to the folder, so under the source folder you will find your config.ini file, And yeah, here are some of the posts which I have uncommented, and as I've shown you in the video, protocol to the HTTP or HTTPS as required, uncommenting username and password field. So yeah, here comes to the GPFS server where you will find the API key value, and you need to uncomment this and set the API key value to the value which you have generated. And it will be completed with the second step, which is generating an API key. Now we will see how to generate the certificate and key. For that, we need to switch to this directory, and in my case it is already exists. So if I type this command, so now my key is generated, and after that it will be generated with my certificate as well. Okay, so if I do ls now, you can see my certificate and private key both are generated. Now we will see how we can start our Grafana-bridge. For that, you need to type systemctl enable Grafana-bridge and systemctl start Grafana-bridge. Then just check its status. So as you can see that it is showing active. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much everyone for watching.